bite into that crispy crust with just the right amount of spicy, and you're going to taste the tender, juicy, succulent chicken that is Gus's world-famous fried chicken. A timeless Southern tradition that started over 60 years ago in Mason, Tennessee with a secret family recipe. Gus's has stood the test of time and spread throughout the world. It's not just famous, it's world-famous fried chicken at Gus's. VolQuest.com has been the gold standard for Tennessee football coverage for over 20 years, led by an experiencst staff with over 600 games covered amongst them.
Speed, and then some more speed.
VolQuest takes...
And welcome into Gus's World Famous Fried Chicken here off Sutherland, joined by Cade Mays and Jason Sway. Matthew Butler will be here momentarily. Tennessee coming up with Florida on Saturday at 7 o'clock. It's a night game, that on ESPN. Cade, how you feeling, big guy?
I feel great. How do you feel?
I always feel good, man.
Me too.
How's the you finally got to live out that defensive dream Saturday with the tackle and the fumble return. Kind of take me through that.
You know, usually in those situations you get juked out, but you still try to make yourself look decent. And I thought I was going to get juked out. He hit a little high step, and then he stayed on the sideline. I was like, oh yeah, this is my opportunity. So, form tackle brought me back like Pee Wee football.
Is it the first time you got to make a legit tackle since since playing defense playing high school?
Yeah. I mean, I've had the opportunity to make tackles. Like I said, usually get juked out. They're a little more athletic than we are, but made it.
All right, we bring Matt Butler in here. Matt, you watched Cade. Did you get to see his tackle Saturday? Were you watching on that play? What did you think? You're a defensive guy.
Hey, I mean, he knocked the crap out of dude, so that's all I need to know.
Nice form? Was the form good?
Yeah. Good pursuit.
Some people said
low
it should have
pad
been targeting.
level.
I mean, that's pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah.
Offensive lineman getting targeting. I don't see that very much.
Yeah. I wouldn't have complained.
I thought you was gonna get targeted. Cause you hit him pretty good. It was a great form tackle for sure.
You get the win on Saturday, 56-0. You came out after that play, didn't go back in. I know you're good to go for this weekend, but just kind of take me through, the time you got to play Saturday. What do you feel like you learned about the offensive line, and what did you see out of some of those younger guys?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like they went in there and played hard. Played pretty clean for the inexperience that they've had. Playing in an actual game. Just played hard, played to their assignments, and I was proud of them. It's always good to see the guys that don't get that limelight, get to go play every Saturday. They get to go in there and play and play good. Love that for them.
What about you, Matt? What did you see out of some of those younger defensive linemen?
I mean, hey, you go back and watch the film, you see some of these guys who maybe don't play as much. You get a guy like Morgan Joseph get a sack. You get quarterback pressures by, guys who, don't get to see that action every week. So it's good to see development all across the D-line room and, get all the way down to the younger players and maybe the more inexperienced players. Good to see.
In three games, man, how have you graded yourself and how have you graded the rest of the group there, defensive line?
I don't grade myself. I really try to just be receptive to coaching and stuff. So whatever he's telling me, whatever grades on paper, whether it be great for a bunch of plays or bad for a few of them, you just take it all with a grain of salt and get better. Just as far as the whole D-line, we still got work to do, and that's a good thing. It's not like we're behind the eight ball or anything, but this Saturday is our chance to, if you're a dude or if y'all are a good D-line, you're going to perform versus SEC opponents, so that's what we're trying to do.
You've been to the Swamp before. Just kind of take me through, what it's like playing in there. Take the fans kind of through that, what they, what it's like to be down there in the arena, on the field with all that's going on there at Florida.
They like to play a lot of music and stuff, and they try to get their fans really involved. It's usually muggy down there. They got these weird little bugs flying around, but outside of that, it's a game day atmosphere. It's always better to play at home, but even when you have a chance to go into a different place and kind of take over, you relish in those opportunities.
Those bugs about that big, ain't they?
Yeah,
and they look like little birds.
Yeah, and then they mate together, I guess, and they fly around
Wild flying.
wild, and they're like stuck together.
It's Florida, man.
Yeah.
Weird stuff happens down there.
Yeah, sometimes you got to take your visor off because like they'll just land on your visor and stay there while you're playing. Like it's ridiculous.
It's Florida.
Cade's getting excited. He thinks he's going to get to go on a hunt Saturday. No?
Mosquito hunt?
What's the limit on bugs at the swamp?
Unlimited. I've never even been to the swamp. This will be my first time.
That is right. Because when you were at Georgia, that game's a neutral site game, and then here you've only been here 2 years. So, is that something that kind of gets you excited to go down there and go someplace you've never been?
For sure, yeah. I've had a lot of great opportunities, play in really cool atmospheres and a lot of stadiums, around the SEC, around the country, and just, being able to play in a new environment. I've always heard, great things about Florida's game day atmosphere. So, just going down there and experiencing it would be awesome.
Matt, you've been here for a while, man. You've had a chance to hang out with the guys and kick it off the field. On Sunday, we had a chance to sit down with Alontae Taylor, and I asked him, who was he the most happy for on this football team? And he mentioned you. He mentioned you because of the adversity that you've been able to overcome and how you're playing right now, leading. If I asked you the same thing, who are some guys on the team? Who is maybe one guy that you are just super, super happy for at this point in the season? Who would that be?
Man, I feel like I would be doing people a disservice by just saying one name. I'll just say a few. Like, you happy to see BY? BY finally gets an opportunity to play. He played well, had some juice off the edge, had like 6 tackles. Like, that's great to see. Happy for guys like SP, Solon Page. He you see a pick 6, and happy for Jalen McCulley. That's his first pick of his career. I mean, just even that. Me and Alontae were real close. I can say Alontae. I can say anybody on the team. Him and I have gotten real close. I'm glad that he's been able to come to the SEC and perform. Looking forward to seeing the whole O-line, some of the young guys who, like, I go against maybe during practice, guys like R.J. Perry and guys like Big James, being able to go in there and just actually play in a real game. So, I mean, man, I could really go up and down the list. I would be doing people a disservice if I didn't keep on talking. So
Matt Butler, who named the entire roster that time, minus who did he leave out? He left out Parker Ball, and that's about it. Salmon, the tight end.
Yeah.
But I explained.
My goal is to bring Matt Butler out of his shell. He is so reserved. He started to come out of his shell, Cade, last week when he met with the media. He has struck up a deal with Smoothie King, and so. He says
Matt, I'm gonna go use that Smoothie King card after this.
He starts after you eat at Gus's fried chicken. He starts his media thing by saying, "Hey, the guy that asks the best question gets a free smoothie."
That's all.
Starting to flash the personality. Look at him grinning over here.
Yeah.
Look at him
make
grinning.
it happen.
So, same question to you. Like, don't take Cooper off the board. That's your brother, but. Besides him, who have you kind of been happy to see have a strong start to the season?
Yeah, I'll just go on the offensive side of the ball. But I'm like Matt, man, just seeing everybody just succeed and play well. People that, like this past week that don't usually get that opportunity going out and playing well. It's awesome to see that. But guys like Jacob Warren, who've really just, exploded these first 3 games, playing good. Guys like him, Jimmy Callaway, getting that big touchdown. Just building some momentum into his season. And then, guys like Jerome, where he was hurt most of the year last year, couldn't really get healthy, playing good. Darnell, making the switch to left tackle. Sprague's coming in and competing hard, playing hard. Just guys all over the offense. I'm just happy to see them in there, competing, learning how to play, and just taking steps every week.
So I want to echo Jerome Carvin because, he was kind of like, and Matt, you were here for all that. He was kind of like that 6th man. So, like, he was never good enough to start, but he was never far enough down the list to redshirt. So, like, he kept playing just minimal amount there those first couple of years, and to see him kind of get that shot as a guy that's went against him in practice, has that kind of been good to see?
Oh, that's been great. I told you I was going to do somebody a disservice by not mentioning somebody. He mentions Jacob Warren, Jerome Carvin, like I'm not like this with them.
I don't think they think you're distant.
Hey,
You just stayed on the defensive
You went
side.
defense, yeah. You went defense, and Cade went offense. It happens that way. It's all good.
I'm beyond proud to see Jerome, what he's doing. He made the transition these past couple weeks playing center. I think he's a great guard. I mean, I've seen him play tackle. So just seeing him develop in our program, seeing him develop as a player, I mean, there's not much you can even say. You just have to really appreciate what you're seeing.
Look what you're seeing right here, though. You are seeing 2 linemen getting love with the NIL, man. Usually you see all the receivers, you see the
big boys need loving too.
Yeah, and you see the quarterbacks, you see the running backs getting all the love, skill position players. But we got 2 linemen in here, man, getting the love today. I love it.
Having done high school features and college features for 15-plus years, the best talkers, bar none, are the linemen.
Because they have a lot to say because no one talks to them.
You're right. I mean, it's without fail. By the way, breaking news. It's not major breaking news, minor breaking news. Tennessee will not play Army in the 2022 season. Tennessee getting out of that game. They will now play Akron. You will likely not be here, and you won't be here. So it won't matter to either one of you probably.
We don't want those problems.
The 2022 season unveiling, though, is coming up within the next few minutes. So you'll see where Tennessee's playing. And what pecking order they'll be playing their SEC schedule for 2022.
Yeah, that's a good move, man. That's a good move.
Yeah.
Not saying that Tennessee doesn't have better athletes than Army. That's not the case, but
it's like the Georgia Tech game.
It's the system, man.
You remember the Georgia Tech game? It's just
yeah.
hard to prepare for.
It's the system. It's one time.
That's the Daniel Batuli game with 434 tackles.
And it's hard to talk trash too.
That was a crazy game.
It's hard to talk trash against Service Academy.
I feel like those.
What are you gonna say? Like, thanks for your service. Get up. Thanks for your service.
Do you know what time we got back from Atlanta, that Georgia Tech game?
Oh, it was like 4 a.m.?
5. We didn't leave Atlanta until 1. Excuse me, we didn't leave the Mercedes-Benz Dome until 1.
Because y'all bus over, right?
You bus, didn't you?
No. I don't remember. That was a long time ago. All I know is we came in the locker room. I looked up. It said 12:45. I got on the bus at about 1:15. We left at 1:30, 1:45.
That's why you fly.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, let's take our first break. When we come back, we'll get to know Matt. We continue to get to know Cade, but we'll get to know Matt. I'm going to ask some questions about, like, favorite things from college. Like, when you have those memories and milestones of going to a certain class here and there, what will he take from his experience at Tennessee? We'll be right back. We're watching Tennessee Prime live from Gus's world-famous fried chicken off Sutherland Avenue.
Bite into that crispy crust with just the right amount of spicy, and you're going to taste the tender, juicy, succulent chicken that is Gus's world-famous fried chicken. A timeless Southern tradition that started over 60 years ago in Mason, Tennessee with a secret family recipe. Gus's has stood the test of time and spread throughout the world. It's not just famous, it's world-famous fried chicken at Gus's. VolQuest.com has been the gold standard for Tennessee football coverage for over 20 years, led by an experienced staff with over 600 games covered amongst them.
Speed, and then some more speed.
Thumbs up. Step in, sit.
Biden.
Welcome back to Tennessee Prime at Gus's world-famous fried chicken here off Sutherland Avenue. Cade Mays, Jason Swain, Matt Butler. All right, Matt, so we're going to get to know you. Peel back the layers here. You've been here for a while. What are the key moments, not football, okay, as a college student, that you will take with you? Like, like a class, a teacher, a friend that you met that's going to be a lifelong friend at your apartment complex or whatever. What are the key moments from college? Not football, just college.
So I don't go out, I don't party a ton, but that first summer when I got here was like the height of my life as far as partying and stuff. And then, I just went to like a few. I'm thinking it's the height of my life. It really wasn't. That first off season though, there's gonna be some nights that I just go ahead and go to the grave with. I'm not gonna talk about. It's just crazy. But on the other hand, I met my girlfriend in college. I met her at a party I probably shouldn't have gone to on a Sunday night before I had an exam the next day. Don't ask me why I did that. I had no clue.
Peer pressure.
Yeah.
YOLO.
Actually, that's the.
Come on, man.
That's not
What's your nickname? What they call you?
I have a lot
The
of
Butler.
nicknames. Yeah, they call
come
me
on,
that.
the Butler. Come on, man. Come on now. Come on with us.
No, but that's exactly what happened. Like there was a fraternity had crossed the yard, and it was on a Sunday, and they had an after party after. So I went, regardless if I had an exam the next day or not. Met my girlfriend there. God works in crazy ways, doesn't he? And then you have just COVID in general, and kind of being the only people on campus, all that craziness. And also, this is just not happening, but just some of these really cool things with NIL. Like, I've been able to meet a ton of cool people. Like, I've been able to make myself a little bit of money. I've been able to coordinate in things that, hey, maybe it doesn't work out now, but when I'm a professional, it's going to work out big. So those are just a few of the things.
So when you come out of COVID and students go back on campus, was that just nice to walk to a class and have people walking around you for a change?
It's cool until you have to drive on campus and you're just driving and somebody wants to dart out in front of you. It's just like, oh, they've been in the house all day, so it's just they're willing to risk their life just hopping out in front of your car.
Tell them the truth. It's terrible.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
I'm just being honest.
That's why you get Javante Payton in his car to go in front of you. That clears everybody out with the exhaust on that thing.
Yeah, you're right. You got Javante Payton, his exhaust. You have Kingston Harris and his. Hey, if they're leading and me and Cade are behind them, we'll be good. We'll be good. But I'm not gonna lie, it's actually terrible.
You got a chance to go to Rwanda, Africa, during 2019 for the Vol Leaders program, and there's a lot of people that want to go to Africa and experience Africa and go to a different country. How was that for you, kind of before you got there, and then when you got there, was it different than what you expected?
No, it was like kind of everything I expected and more. Like, I was African studies minors, so I knew a lot. I grew up knowing a few things. And then just being able to experience it and actually just kind of engulf yourself in the culture. I got to learn a little bit of the language conversationally. I was able to communicate with people. There were people that thought I was Rwandan just because I knew how to say, like, Maraho, hello, like, stuff like that. So, I mean, man, we would be here all night if I was to go on a rampage just talking about my experience in Rwanda. But there's still people in Rwanda to this day that I, every couple weeks or, maybe after a game still get in contact with me. I'm still in contact with them. That's a place that I'm going to take my family. That's a place I'm going to take my future family. That's a place I'll take, like, my close friends and stuff like that. Like, great experience.
What did you learn during that experience that you brought back with you that you live by today and it helps you each and every day? Just
like togetherness. Like, we live in a world where, like, everything is so polar, everything is kind of everywhere. You take individuality and it just is on a huge scale now. Everybody's so different, but, like, we're all the same at the same time in a lot of ways. So, just togetherness, being able to just appreciate who people are, appreciate who you are at the same time, and then come together and where you have similarities and then just talk about where you have differences. You have a country that went through a whole genocide like 20, 25 years ago, and you go there, you wouldn't be able to tell. So.
All right, Cade, we're making you feel lonely over here, so we're going to flip it back to you. If you could live in any time period, what would it be?
Pre-cell phones, probably like born in the 80s.
So me, good.
Yeah, 70s is too long. I wouldn't want to be born in the 90s because then, like, you're, like, behind the technical like advancement, but I feel like if you're born in the 80s, that would be like the perfect time. Like,
Yeah.
you get to grow up and like actually get to an adult life before cell phones and stuff come out, and so you really don't care about the whole technology thing, but you get to live your whole, like, your prime years without cell phones.
Yeah, we had
Same question for you.
beepers.
I'm pretty content living in the time period we live in now. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff in technology. Like, I'm not a huge cell phone guy. Like, I'm more on social media now because of NIL and who I am more than the fact that I like social media and all that. But I still like, you know, the coming of age. I like the time period I'm living in.
All right, so last week on the show, I told everybody I was going to tell a story about Cade Mays and myself. Most people know I've known Cade for a while, and so Cade was coming back from a high school basketball game. Was you at your junior year or senior year of high school?
I think it was my sophomore year.
Either way, Cade could drive, and his family was on the other side of Tennessee. They were in West Tennessee, duck hunting, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Everybody, Cade, Melinda, Cooper, Camp, and I get a phone call. Look down, it's like 11 o'clock at night, and it's Cade. Hello? Hey, man, can you help? And you can tell he's bothered. Cade had run out of gas coming back from Greenville and was literally off the interstate at Cedar Bluff. So I went out, helped him get going, went on his way, and that's why they call me Uncle Austin. So
Real AAA.
yeah, I know. Did you not have AAA?
I don't have AAA.
More
It's
importantly,
like,
he needed somebody because his parents were not around.
I wouldn't have called them anyways.
Correct. Well, I know you didn't want to tell him that happened. So, when you look at, you know, kind of your college career, I was asking him this. Take the football out of it. What memories do you have?
Take the football out of it?
Take the football out of it.
Memories
And
I have.
take the video games out of it too. Now what are you left with?
For sure. Let me think about this. This is a good question. This is like a deep question, juicy question. Man, I would just probably say like living in the dorms. Probably like I hated living in the dorms, but like I don't know, like the friend, like I made like some really close friends with the people that lived in the same dorm with me. And I hated living there, so like and they all hated it too. So like we would always be bouncing from room to room, like just like our floor got really close. Like we were friends with everybody.
Sure.
And that was a really good time, like my freshman year. But you know, just our life is made up so much like football and just school. My favorite like football memory probably of like my whole college was last year during quarantine. Like every Wednesday we'd go to Copper Cellar and eat the half-off burgers, and like
More about the hanging out and the
sure.
and the bonds and
camaraderie,
friendship.
just hanging out with everybody. Yeah, and especially in a time period where you didn't really like that wasn't like we took it for granted. Like you really didn't like you weren't able to go out and eat for some months and stuff, and then football season rolled around, and then we all got to be around each other again. And so that was probably my best one.
How many nicknames do you really have? We got the Butler.
That's
That's it.
I have nicknames from high school, but that's
Matthias.
really
But
it.
here it's the Butler.
Yeah, Cade and a couple of my former teammates have called me like Matthias. Have no clue why. It just came about. But if you go somewhere and say the Butler, you're gonna know. That came from the Kentucky game. I guess I got a sack at the Kentucky game my junior year, and I'm chasing this dude all around the pocket. I forget his name. He was quite an athlete. Chasing
Terry.
dude all around the pocket. You said what?
Terry Wilson?
No, not Terry. It was the dude when Terry got hurt.
Lynn
Bowden. Lynn Bowden Jr. Chasing him all around everywhere. Sacked him. And the announcer says, "There he is again. The Butler did it." And that Sunday or that Monday when we came in, they played the TV version. And since then, that's what everybody's just called me.
Are you familiar with Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Yeah.
So for Halloween, you can dress up as Jeffrey
Yeah.
and be the Butler, right? That'd
Yeah.
be perfect, right? That'd be
I'm
perfect.
not gonna lie, Coach G brought that up like 2 days ago. He's trying to be like my advertising and marketing manager.
Does that mean he's gonna be Uncle Phil?
Yeah,
That would be perfect, man.
Hopefully he don't kick me out too often like he did with
Jazzy Jeff.
With Jazzy Jeff and Will.
Yeah, man. Just reading your bio, you have a 3-year-old daughter.
Yeah. During last year, during the quarantine, and during most of the season, she was living here with me in Knoxville, working some things out there. But, you know, that's like my everything. That's the reason why I do what I do. I really should have brought that up. It's just another memory. It gets so – I've been here for way too long. It just gets so discombobulated in my head. But that was probably just the best experience of my college career, just being able to – you think it would be super hard, right? Like school and COVID and football and workouts and taking care of a 2-year-old at that time. Really, it was just fun. I mean, that, like, you know, it's like your whole world's right there, so everything's okay, right? Yeah, so that's how it was.
It seems like, you know, most people will probably be afraid and scared and, you know, be confused about what to do, but it kind of clears things up for you, like your purpose and why you do what you do. And, you know, you have a mission, you have a goal, and you are determined to get there because, you know, you have someone that's depending on you. So, yeah, man, I played with some guys that had kids too, and they had the same type of focus. So, yeah, that was really cool.
All right, so Cade, everybody knows is a Vol legacy. His dad played here. His uncle played at Tennessee. But do most people know that Matthew Butler's cousin is Anthony Richardson, who played basketball in the mid-'80s?
Yep, I don't know how you found that out. I probably told you at one point. But, yeah, I mean.
No, Chris Lowe, who's really good friends with Anthony Richardson, would kill me if I didn't mention it.
Oh, okay.
So, thus I am.
That was part of the reason why I came here. I have, like, a little heritage here. My cousin, Marjorie Butler, who most Knoxville natives would know, she is Knoxville legend as far as basketball. Went down to the other school. Yeah, she went down to the other school. She's in med school right now. If she's listening, congratulations to her. She just passed one of her med school exams. But, you know, so, yeah, I have a little bit of heritage here in Knoxville. It's part of the reason why I came here.
What were your other choices besides Tennessee?
I had 2 local schools, Duke and NC State, probably NC State a little bit more than Duke. And then 2 real football heritage schools with Texas A&M and Penn State. And, you know, God just let me here and been here since. Probably a little too long, but it's all good.
How long did it take you to not be homesick, or were you a guy that once you got here you were good to go? Did it take a couple months?
No, it was pretty cool. It was pretty good to go. Like, once I got a car, that's kind of what killed the homesickness. Like, if I get a more than just a regular 2-day weekend, like it's just a straight shot on 40 to get home, you know, just hang out. And then my parents can get here pretty easily to hang out with me if they want to.
All right. When we come back, we're going to break down Florida. We're going to talk about the matchup with the Gators and get you set for Tennessee and Florida coming up Saturday, 7 o'clock. You're watching Tennessee Prime at Gus's world-famous fried chicken here on Sutherland Avenue.
Bite into that crispy crust with just the right amount of spicy, and you're going to taste the tender, juicy, succulent chicken that is Gus's world-famous fried chicken. A timeless Southern tradition that started over 60 years ago in Mason, Tennessee with a secret family recipe. Gus's has stood the test of time and spread throughout the world. It's not just famous, it's world-famous fried chicken at Gus's. VolQuest.com has been the gold standard for Tennessee football coverage for over 20 years, led by an experienced staff with over 600 games covered amongst them.
Speed, and then some more speed.
Thumbs up. Step it, sit.
VolQuest takes you behind the scenes with features on coaches and players. For only $9.95 per month, find out why VolQuest continues to set that standard.
Ever wonder what the best source of Tennessee and college football talk is? Tune in to the Swain Event every morning from 7 to 10 a.m. You can listen on the Swain Event app or catch the live stream on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, or Facebook Live. If you can't listen in real time, it's all good. Just click on the podcast icon in the app and listen at your convenience. Get all the information on the Vols all year long with the Swain event. You will not find a better mix of Big Orange news and opinion anywhere else.
And welcome back to Gus's World Famous Fried Chicken here on Sutherland Avenue, Tennessee Prime, alongside Cade Mays, Jason Swain, Matt Butler. Guys, you got Florida this weekend. It's a big one. First SEC game, Cade. First road game of this season. What in watching Florida on film, what are you impressed by?
Their D-line plays a really good effort, really good tenacity. They use their hands really well in pass rush. Coaches do a really good job of getting them in good positions to rush the passer on third down, freeing up, one-on-one pass rush matchups. Do a good job on the back end, on the secondary, just covering people, just covering all those thrown lanes, holding the zones and stuff. And then, their linebackers always fast, physical, downhill.
What about offensively?
So with their offense, they have, two good quarterbacks who can bring a whole different dynamic to the game, running the ball. That gives them a whole different dynamic. It gives them, a quote-unquote advantage. Their offensive line, they play together. They play downhill. They're not playing sideways or anything like that. The receivers, they're known to have fast receivers that can catch the ball. But even that almost kind of goes on the back burner just because both of these quarterbacks can't really run. And then they showed a lot of fight versus Alabama as well, and they're not taking any crap or anything like that.
Having played them at the end of last year, it's not been that long. It's not that many games in between. How different do they look though? Because they go from Trask to Emory Jones and Richardson at quarterback. How different do they look from that standpoint?
I think the biggest difference is just the running quarterback with Emory and number 15. I don't know his name, but just the running dynamic. They can make it happen with their legs. They both have some speed. I think that their running backs are pretty good as well. I think that they play downhill. They're willing to play tough. They're willing to block and stuff like that. So they have a good team. That's how you make it happen.
Are you a guy that likes away games more than home games, or do you like home games a little bit better? Which one do you prefer?
It's football. I love playing football. So when you get an opportunity to play in a great environment, one where that's always great. Now I probably wouldn't like away games if we had to play at Bowling Green or at Tennessee. Yeah, you're right about that. Vanderbilt last year had our families and their families. So yeah, that's about it. So that was not a fun away game.
Why are you smiling, Jason?
Because I don't want to create any bulletin board material. I want to say something, I want to talk some trash about Vanderbilt's stadium, but I don't want to put these guys in a bad situation.
Oh, no, Vanderbilt, they're a great academic school. They've had some athletes come out. They had a D lineman last year get drafted, if I'm not mistaken. They have good players. Just last year specifically with the dynamic of COVID, there wasn't nobody in there.
It just stinks playing college football and no one coming to see you. It just I couldn't imagine.
So when you look at going up against this Florida defense, what was it that Alabama did last week to have success, but then Florida able to kind of control the line of scrimmage there in the second half and give their offense a chance?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I haven't watched the whole game. I've just watched mostly just cut-ups, personal cut-ups, different people, just pass rush stuff, how they play the run, how they play the pass. So I haven't watched actually the game, so I don't know.
What is there one guy on that defensive line that you'll have to really be cognizant of and know where he's at all times?
Definitely not only one. All of them. They've got a great front four. They've got a Mike linebacker, number 7, Jeremiah Moon, I think his name is. He'll roll down and rush the passer. Brenton Cox, Zach Carter. They had a dude transfer from Auburn, and then another guy from Penn State. So they're really deep in the front four, and then they've got a lot of different packages to get different guys in position to rush the passer or do what they do.
Swin and I talked about this on the locker room Sunday night. Just believing you can win a game like this, because Tennessee's won this game twice since Jason was the last team to go down there and win at the Swamp in 2003. They won it in 2004 and 2016, but that was in Knoxville both times. How much of it is a inner belief in getting those around you to say, hey, those were teams of the past. They're not part of this team. Let's believe we're going to go down here and win and go do it.
I don't even think that that's something that you need to acknowledge in the locker room. Like, if there's anybody who maybe doesn't think that we're going to go down there and do what we do and kick their behinds, and they probably aren't playing anyway. So that's not even something that needs to be acknowledged. I mean, I've played Florida 4 times before now. I played in 3 of those games. The guy who I'm going to line up against for a lot of the game on Saturday is somebody who I faced for the past 2 years, and has some success, and he's had some success. So it's personal to me. I haven't beat them yet, and if I have to convince somebody that we can go down there and beat them, then they're not somebody I want to play next to.
Is this your 3rd time to the Swamp?
Yes.
Okay, Jaquan Blakely brought that up today. It's his 3rd time. I mean, that's a rarity, but because of the COVID extra year, you get to go to a venue 3 times.
Yeah.
Cade, about this crowd that Tennessee is going to face this weekend. We saw last week how the crowd came out and showed up for the Alabama game. Offensively, have you guys started to prepare for the crowd noise?
Yeah.
And don't give away all the goodies or anything, the secrets, but how have you guys been able to prepare for the crowd noise, and have you guys had the speakers blaring at practice?
Yeah, actually busted a speaker today at practice, so pretty funny. We've been working on it. Something that's very effective, not only for this game, but I mean a lot of games down the stretch when you play in the SEC is loud. It's hard to hear, your quarterback. It's hard to hear the people next to you talking. So, just really communicating with all that noise going on at practice, and then doing certain stuff, with the snap to help, get everybody on the same page.
One thing that stands out is like the first couple games here, you've noticed that when the opposing team is getting ready to go up under center, there's music playing, but they have to stop it at a certain point. Well, Tennessee's offense goes so fast, I don't know if Florida will even have time to even play their music to even make a difference, because, we're up to the line of scrimmage snapping so quickly. So that's one thing that kind of stood out to me.
How do you feel like the tempo can kind of thwart the crowd in a game like that? Especially if you can, those first couple of plays are so pivotal to the drive.
Yeah.
Especially if you can get a little bit of rhythm early in a set of downs.
Just going really fast. Like, if you get stopped fast on the 1st and 2nd down, and then you catch them with their big package or their 1st and down package on 3rd down, it really keeps the crowd out of it, because like here at our games, like you hear the dude on the announcer thing, it's 3rd down, whatever, like all that stuff, and they don't get it. So you're going so fast that it doesn't allow the crowd. Like the crowd doesn't even know it's 3rd down at this point. Like they've already ran 2 plays in 15 seconds, and I think it just kind of keeps them out of it. But you get a dead ball or something and it's 3rd down, it'll definitely be rocking.
The good news is Cade will replace Jeff Jarnigan one day as the PA announcer at Neyland Stadium.
Probably not. Thomas Edwards needs to do that. Anybody? I'm serious.
He is Captain Energy.
Unbelievable, like, announcer voice. Unbelievable.
Remember when he did the spring game?
So refined, yes. And I saw Thomas the other day, and I told him it's the most phenomenal video I've ever seen. Thomas, if you're out there, I love you.
Speaking of voices, the deepest voice on this team is Matt Butler.
Hey, Matt, the first time you guys went up against this offense in a scrimmage situation and you really got a chance to experience the tempo, how was that for you? Was that a big adjustment?
Bro, I can't give out all the secrets, but the way that they set up practice makes the defense work. I'm gonna just say that.
To make the games easier from the standpoint
made
of
the games very easy. Like even the first time that we legitimately scrimmaged the offense, it was almost a little bit easier than the way they have practice set up, because the way they have practice set up just puts that much stress on the defense, and it makes us that much better. We get our calls in faster, we get set faster, we're able to play faster, we're going, and it makes you process the game faster. So you're getting better at the same time.
Where's this defense? I mean, like, you guys, the first 3 games are just playing so sound in a lot of ways. I mean, everybody's going to make a play on you from time to time. That's football. But, I mean, you look at, I think 7 of the 8 quarters, you've given up 20 total points in those 7 quarters. Where's been the growth? Is it as simple as a little bit of change of philosophy going from last staff? And I'm not asking you to, like, slam the last staff. I'm just saying maybe making it a little easier, terminology-wise, going from the last staff to, Coach Banks and what he's wanting to do. What's been the mix
Without saying too much, when you have a lot on your plate, then there's a lot to eat.
Sure.
And you might not get done eating it. If you have something on your plate that you like and that suits your taste, then you're going to eat it, and it's going to be done, and that's it's going to be a good meal.
So what's on your plate?
Gus's.
Smoothie King.
Gus's Smoothie King for dessert. There we go.
Matthias, man, sophisticated.
The Butler. The Butler. So basically, simplifying it allowed you to play faster and think less.
It does, and it's not that like maybe our situation in the past was an issue. It's just like maybe that doesn't work for everybody, So like, situation in the past worked fine for me in some ways. It worked fine for a lot of my teammates in some ways, but maybe it didn't work fine for everybody. So, we take a little bit of a dent, and that's not a knock on the last staff. I liked everybody on the last staff, but it's just a change of scenery, and we obviously like the scenery as a defense.
Okay, flip it to the other side. I don't know how many assistant coaches on the offensive side last year at the end of the year were telling me, hey, if they had been back, they were going to push to simplify the offense. Last year's offense had too much, too many checks, too much, to learn and all that going forward. Is this way easier to understand terminology standpoint?
Last year I felt like our offense was very simplified, very vanilla. So as an offensive line, like, you didn't have too many blocking schemes, like too much stuff going on. Like, it was really easy to get the call in and snap it. Like,
how different was it for you versus what a wide receiver would do?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Probably a lot different.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sure they got a lot of different route checks and all that stuff. But as far as an offensive lineman, last year was really simple. This year, with going fast and like having to see, like, what you see on film is never how it turns out in the game. So you watch film, you get prepared, and you've got all these little minor details, minor little things that go on in the play that can completely change your rule. And so going fast, it makes it a little bit harder to make sure you see what you need to see. But we've been doing it since the new staff's got here, so we're all kind of comfortable with it and stuff. But I feel like they're both not hard. They're both pretty simple, for me at least.
Butler, hearing about what, man? That's his name, ain't it? Butler? Matthew Butler? Butler. So hearing about 5-10 years, maybe 15-20, when you come back to Knoxville and you walk in the streets with your daughter, what do you want people to say about Matthew Butler, number 94, when he played at the University of Tennessee? They say, man, you was blank. What do you want people to say?
That's probably not something you think. That's a really good question. If you would have asked me that question that day that I gave free smoothie, or whoever asked me the best question, you would have got the free smoothie for sure.
I got free smoothie cards in the car too. So.
Oh, okay. So
I'm loaded too.
Yeah. No, I'm already knowing, but I'm a guy, like, I'm consistent. I'm gonna give you the same thing every day, and I'm always gonna get better every day too. So I'm hoping that when I come back in Knoxville in however many years, that they know me as the guy who, was part of this year. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, we have, forget what happened these first 3 games, like the good and the bad. Like, we have 9 more games left, guaranteed. And these 9 more games, I'm trying to leave a real legacy, not only me, but just everybody around me. And I'm trying to impact other people around me as well. So that's almost what I want people to know me for, what's about to happen, not all that stuff in the past. I mean, you can look at the past. We weren't good. Why would I want somebody to remember me for that? Let's remember for these next 9 games how we went out there and kicked butt.
Like it. No, I like it.
Jerseys. What's your favorite jersey to wear? Is it orange on white, white on white, orange on orange? What is it?
The real answer is the smoky gray uniforms from my freshman year. I feel like that's the only answer. That's really the only answer. If anybody's saying anything other than that, then they're tripping. Those were some of the best jerseys in college football.
You?
I don't care. I would like us to have some black on black jerseys.
Black on black?
What was it, 2006?
2009. That was the they waited too late. They had them screened on. They had them screened on.
Think about it. Like, black on orange like would be like one of the best combos in college football. Black, like a matte black helmet, orange tee.
Especially if you played on Halloween.
Yes, black face mask, like black jersey, orange numbers, details, all that stuff. Like it would be hard body. Like the orange stripes going down the black pants. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
They might crush the smoky gray uniforms. Matt, what you think about that?
You said what?
I said that might crush the smoky gray uniforms.
Yeah, that would. That's especially
Like
if we play like on
Tennessee should have been
Halloween,
done
something like that.
Like the black jerseys.
Yeah.
Like that should have been like a 2000. When did all the crazy jersey combinations start coming out in college football?
Like 2012 with
2014.
Oregon.
Yeah, it's like
It should have been like a 2012, 2014 deal. 2014 probably.
who knows? Maybe you guys will get black jerseys.
Who knows?
Probably not.
I hope y'all do, man. Hope y'all do.
You never know. You never know. Before we get out the door, Jason asked you kind of a look back at what you want people to remember you by. I will always remember you by having the deepest voice on the team. You never get you're never too high, never too low. Like I never see you get really excited, but I never see you go in the tank. You're just kind of even, steady Eddie. When you run through the tee for the final time, is this going to be just kind of a jog through? Do you got anything planned? You thought about it at all?
I don't know.
You going to cry?
I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. There was a point in my life last year where I was like, yeah, this is going to be my last time playing and kneeling when we were playing Texas A&M. And I kept my helmet on the whole time, but I was all over the place emotionally. Like, I couldn't believe that, like, that might have been my last time playing and kneeling. I was all the way messed up. And then, I played kneeling first game this past, 3 weeks ago. And it's just like, oh, okay, welcome back to kneeling. But this year, I have no clue. You're going to see something, though. I'll come out of my show a little bit. I'll come out like, yeah.
I'm holding you to this.
And I want to let you know.
Hey, I'm not going to lie. This weekend, you'll probably see me come out of my show because things are going to go as planned. And, I mean, we're going to – I can't use certain languages on live. You know what I'm saying? We're going to act a fool, for real. That's all of us, though.
You going white on white this weekend? Do you know what you're going?
What are we wearing, Cade? What did we decide on?
Is it a secret?
I don't remember what we decided on.
You
I don't know if it's a secret or not. Is uniform combinations supposed to be a secret?
I don't know.
I have no idea. I think might be white on orange. I don't know. I don't remember what we picked.
Yeah. I know Alante said on Sunday night he's a big stormtrooper guy. He likes the white on white.
He loves the stormtroopers.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I can see Alante being big into the uniform combinations. He's probably president of the uniform combinations.
If we were to appoint anybody as president of uniform combinations, it would be Alante Taylor, 100%. That's a good thing, too, because me personally, I love the smoky grays. The black idea is great, but, like,
it doesn't really matter.
I'm putting the jersey on to take it off with the win at the end of the day, not living it.
What'd you wear in high school, number-wise?
I wore 45, and, of course, that number is retired.
Sure.
For very good reason here at the University of Tennessee. And then I wore 79 when I had to play, like, offensive line and stuff like that, running around with my Gardner Trojans.
Was it Hawk? Did Hawk give you 94, or did you get to select 94? How'd that work?
I picked 56. You have Kurt Magid, you have Chuck Smith wearing 56. I was going to be the next 56.
Look at this guy. I'm diving back. I like this.
I was very excited about that. And then I came in, I guess the end of my sophomore year, and they're like, oh, we have to play you on special teams. We need you to wear a different number because you can't have two numbers on the same film. Guess you can go back and watch all the tape my sophomore, junior, and last year. I didn't play no special team. I was mad that they made me change my number. Very mad.
It happens that way, man. It happens that way.
Yeah.
I know guys.
And I was going to change it back. I had the opportunity to change it back this year, but it's just like at this point.
Half the team changed their number this year.
Yeah.
Do you ever look around and go, who is that? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like Latrell came out versus Bowling Green.
Big O's 21.
I've gotten used to Big O. I haven't gotten used to Latrell's my roommate. Like, I've known this dude, and we've been through everything. I was a captain for Bowling Green. He came out, and I turned around. Who is that? And I hadn't it has not resonated with me that he wears 11 and not 88 anymore. So that's just what it is.
Whereas you switched back to 68 when you came back.
Did. Yep.
Just like high school.
Just like high school.
plowing
Fox
people over.
Lotus.
Fox. What's the number over there at Catholic? You know, like
9245, I think. I don't know how I remember that. I think it's 9245 Fox Lotus Drive. I don't know how I remember that.
9245. You know, at Knox West,
Who
they
does
just say
Catholic play this
3300. Oh gosh, I don't know who they play.
What do they play, Powell?
No, that's week 10.
Week 10.
So that's the week before.
Can't believe Powell ducked that smoke all 4 years I was in high school. Hope somebody's out there watching this. Crazy.
You gonna come to that game?
It's a Thursday, isn't it?
It is a
I'll be
Thursday.
there.
Big Walter Nolan.
Yeah.
Playing against your alma mater, against Trevor Duncan, another good lineman for the Irish.
Yeah. Then who did Catholic play last week?
They got throttled by Macaulay.
Is Macaulay good this year?
Just basing off I don't know how good Catholic is. Catholic.
Hey, I went to the Catholic Maryville
Catholic
scrimmage.
beat Baylor, lost to Macaulay.
I was impressed with Catholic when I watched the Maryville scrimmage. Catholic definitely won that scrimmage, just like we should have won my senior year. But four of the refs were Maryville grads. It's crazy how that works out.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna dive out.
Good thing we in Knoxville, not Maryville.
Jason knows the stories all too well about what happens at Maryville. Anyways, for Matthew Butler, Jason Swain, I'm Austin Price and Cade Mays. You've been watching Tennessee Prime here from Gus's world famous fried chicken on Sutherland Avenue. See you next Tuesday, everybody.